Let's do a financial kickstart. Here's some pro tips for setting goals, clearing debt and budgeting. So let's start with the basics in money management. Firstly, hello everyone. I'm Jamie Parrick, a qualified accountant turned financial coach. I've learned some golden rules and pro tips along the way that have helped my clients work towards early retirement. Today, I'm excited to share a straightforward plan to kickstart your personal finance journey. Follow these steps and you'll be well on your way to financial success. Let's dive straight in. Step 1 is assessing your current financial situation. Now, before we dive into setting goals and making plans, let's understand where we stand financially. Why does this matter? Well, just like you wouldn't want to go on a road trip without knowing your starting point, you can't really map out your financial journey without a clear picture of where you are now. So, my first tip would be to evaluate your income and your expenses. So let's start by tracking all of our income sources. This includes your salary, any side hustles, rental income or investment. Now, some of us get bogged down trying to make this as accurate as we can. I've been there too. I would say estimate these because guesses are fine. You can fine tune these later, but it stops us from getting stuck on trying to be perfect. Now, the next thing is list out all your expenses. Break them down into categories like housing, utilities, groceries, transportation, entertainment, and again, estimates are absolutely fine. You just fine tune them later. You can use a budgeting app or a simple spreadsheet to keep everything organized. Now, trust me, having a clear view like this will make all the difference. So tip number 2, understand your debt. So make a comprehensive list of all your debts like credit card balances, student loan, mortgages, or any other debt. These are what we call liabilities. Note down the interest rates and the minimum monthly payment for each debt. This will help you to prioritize which debt to tackle first. Now, everybody does this differently. Some people will pay off the debts with the highest interest rate first, which save you money, and some people will pay off the smaller debts first. You do what works for you. Tip number 3, take stock of your assets. So list all of your assets, including your savings account, investments accounts, real estate, and valuable personal items. Now, knowing your net worth is your assets minus your debt or your liabilities. And it's a powerful motivator that keeps you clear on your starting point. You know what your net worth was at the start, and you compare that to your net worth later, which tells you how well you've improved in your financial journey. So when people say Beyonce is worth so and so $1 million, what they're talking about is her net worth. On a personal note, I remember working with a client who thought they were in a worse financial situation than they actually were. And once we laid everything out, they were quite surprised to find that they had more assets than they realized. This clarity gave them the confidence to take the next step in their financial journey. So don't be surprised if you're surprised how well you're doing compared to how well you thought you were doing. Now, this is the foundation, and from here we build a solid plan for achieving your financial goals this year. Step 2, setting clear financial goals. Once you've assessed your current financial situation, it's time to chart a course for where we want to go. Now, why are these so important? Think of them as your financial GPS. They just guide you towards your desired destination and they keep you on track. So tip 1 for your goals would be to understand the importance of SMART goals. I just take the S, M and the T out, and let's say that they're just the important ones. So you just want your goals to be specific, measurable and time bound. You want to be specific and you want to be able to track it so that you reach there by a certain date. Let's give you an example. Instead of saying I want to save money, you say I want to aim for $5,000 by the end of 2025 for a down payment on a house. Now, I know that's not enough, but I'm just saying for example. The second tip is differentiating between short-term and long-term goals. Short-term goals are typically achievable within a year, like paying off credit card or building an emergency fund. And then your long-term goal might be saving for retirement, buying a home, funding your child's education, those kind of things. Tip number 3, write them down. Now, I know what people say, but there's something powerful about putting your goals in writing. It makes them real and it holds you accountable. Keep them somewhere visible like your fridge or a planner to remind you what you're working towards. Another story that I remember is I once had this client who wanted to retire early but didn't actually write it down. Once we went through their documents, their objectives, we were able to create a focused plan, and that's when they saw tremendous progress within a few years. So writing it down is more important than we think. Now, After all of this hard work, there is still a possibility that you won't stick to the plan and reach your goals. So here's how to make sure you don't fall back on your goals. You build systems. Now, James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, says, build systems. This way you're not relying on pure motivation to hit your goal. An example would be to automate your payments towards credit cards or savings or investments the day that you get paid. That way you're not waiting until the end of the month to see how much you have left over to then put towards your goal. It's just the way us humans work. If we have more money at the end, we just spend it. It's the same process you would use for any of your goals, like fitness. You would keep your trainers where you would see them. So you automatically put your trainers on when you wake up and you get going without thinking or hoping that motivation will kick in. So less thinking and more small habits is the answer. There you go. You now have a clear roadmap of what you want to achieve financially. And this will set you up for success and keep you motivated. So in my next video, I'm looking to dive deeper into budgeting. Remember, a budget is pointless without the goal setting exercises we've completed today. We need some excitement for what we are looking for. Knowing that we're going to be able to meet our short-term and long-term goals will mean budgeting will feel a bit more exciting and less restrictive. See, budgeting isn't just a set of numbers that you keep making bigger until you die. It's a vision of how you want your future to look. Now, if you do want me to create this video, please comment below to let me know, because next week I can show you how I help my clients create an exciting budget that aligns perfectly with their goals. Plus, I'll reveal the psychological hack that helps you stick to it and build your emergency fund. Now, one tool that's helped my clients the most to stay organized is my financial freedom checklist. I'll leave the link below, and if you download it, you can use this for next week, and so we can get started on our journey to financial freedom together.